Welcome to the sixth session of our Discover Acumatica with 247 Digitize webinar series. This session, titled Recording Sales in Acumatica, promises to be an insightful exploration of sales process features in Acumatica, brought to you by the experts at 247 Digitize. Before we dive into our agenda, a quick word about 247 Digitize. We are a dedicated team of Acumatica experts committed to helping businesses harness the full potential of this powerful ERP solution. Our goal is to equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to drive efficiency, streamline operations, and maximize your ROI. I am Mazhar Ali, Director of Business Development at 247 Digitize, and on the organizing team today I have Neha and Sam with me. Neha heads the bookkeeping practice at 247 Digitize. Neha is a chartered accountant by both qualification and profession. Neha comes with over a decade's expertise in financial reporting, external and internal audits, and global client management. Neha specializes in technical accounting and leading implementation of new accounting standards. She has led diverse teams delivering customized solutions to meet evolving needs of businesses. Sam, who is the head of marketing at 247 Digitize, is a technical expert behind this webinar. Thank you, Sam. Our valued audience, whether you are an industry expert, a business owner, or simply curious about the topic, we encourage you to participate actively by asking questions in the chat box, and we will answer your questions at the end of this session. Did you know that many businesses choose to outsource their bookkeeping? However, most organizations opt for professional bookkeepers who are not always trained in the Acumatica ERP solution. They also don't make day-to-day entries into Acumatica on behalf of the customers. Our team of Acumatica experts provides excellent results, helping clients in various industries improve their efficiency, accuracy, and overall bookkeeping process. With our process-driven approach and deep expertise in Acumatica, we offer a seamless outsourcing solution that frees up your time and resources, allowing you to focus on what matters most, growing your business. If you don't keep your books up to date throughout the year, you will never have a clear picture of your business finances. Keeping your books up to date throughout the year is essential for a clear understanding of your business finances, enabling informed decision making, tax compliance, effective cash flow management, business performance evaluation, investor and lender confidence, and legal compliance. Over to you, Neha.
Thank you, Mazhar. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome again to today's webinar on recording sales in Acumatica. Before we dive into the specifics, let's briefly discuss what sales mean. Sales in accounting is a term that refers to any operating revenues that a company earns through its business activities, such as selling goods or services or both. It is important to note that sales are operating revenues. Next, we will discuss the agenda for today's webinar. Today, we'll be covering the following topics: customer preferences and customer classes, sales order preferences, recording cash sales, recording sale of stock items, processing customer payments, recording sale of non-stock items, processing refunds and adjustment to invoices. In Acumatica ERP, each customer record stores all customer related information you need to conduct business with your company's customers. This information includes addresses, locations, contacts, and payment methods, as well as financial, billing, delivery, and mailing settings. Acumatica ERP provides you with different tools that ease the process of entering customer data and help you to organize this data on reports. Before you start setting up customer accounts in Acumatica ERP, you need to configure the entities that will ease the process of customer account creation and maintenance. Next, we'll talk about customer classes. Customer classes provide default values for individual customer accounts. So, user can create customer accounts more easily. Besides the class ID and description, which are the required settings of a customer class, it contains additional elements such as general settings, delivery elements, credit verification settings, financial settings, print and mail details, general ledger accounts, and mailings. Next slide. You can use this form to create statement cycles, which make it possible to customers to track customers' outstanding balances and send electronic or printed statements to the customers. You can define 5 aging periods for AR documents and use them to prepare an account receivable aging schedule. Alternatively, you could configure the statement cycles so that the system will age documents by financial periods. By analyzing your accounts receivable aging schedule, you can more easily identify potential cash flow issues. Credit terms are optional, but you should ensure that each needed set of credit terms that will define the due dates of documents that has been set up on the credit terms form. When you set up customer classes, you can assign the appropriate credit terms to classes, which in turn will cause the credit terms to be assigned by default to all new customers of this class. Previous slide. The customer classes form allows for the configuration of default write-off settings for customer classes, with the option to adjust these settings for individual customers. The write-off limit box is used to set a maximum limit for write-offs, ensuring that only discrepancies within the limit are automatically processed by the system. Once set up, the system will handle small write-offs for sales order invoices when the payment amount varies from the invoice amount, provided it does not surpass the customer's specified write-off limit. Credit, credit verification rules are an interesting feature to monitor customer receivables effectively. When creating a customer class, one can specify default credit verification settings. For example, a credit limit can be specified where if the customer's total outstanding balance is greater than the amount specified, the system generates a warning. Similarly, over limit amount field can be populated with an amount in case where if the value is exceeded, the system puts new invoices on hold or issues a warning. If the customer has a document that is past due by more days than the number of days specified in the credit days past due box, the system puts new invoices on hold or issues a warning. Next, we will learn about another credit control mechanism in Acumatica. You may encounter an unfortunate situation when a customer has not paid for a long time and has not responded to any inquiries or requests for payment. You might have notified the customer about due invoices with a sequence of dunning letters or in some other way. In this case, you can put a hold on the customer's credit until the issue is resolved. To manage customer credit, apply credit holds to applicable customers by using the Manage Credit Holds form. Once a credit hold has been applied to a customer account, no new sales orders or invoices can be created for this customer. We can manually remove a customer from credit hold by changing the customer status from credit hold to active. This can be done on the Manage Credit Holds form. Moving on to the next slide. Sam, can we go back to sales order preferences? This form holds the settings that affect the functionality related to sales orders, including processing, posting, and approval settings. You can use the General tab to select the default order types and price validation options, as well as to specify the processing options for shipments and documents related to sales orders. In the price settings section, one can specify the setting that causes the system to calculate the prices. On the Approval tab, the business can configure approval settings for sales orders. On the Mailing and Printing tab, we can list predefined mailings for customers like standard dunning letter that goes with each invoice or sales order. Next slide. On the next slide, you can see the types of sales order types predefined in Acumatica. On the sales order form, users can create orders of both the types predefined in Acumatica as well as the custom order types which can be created by the users. This means that businesses can create different order types for sales generated through different sales channels. For example, order type for store sales, for web sales. Uh, in web sales, you could also have multiple uh, channels that you use, like Shopify, Amazon, etc. Businesses can also create different order types for different verticals. For example, order types for sale of machinery, sale of spares, sale of accessories, etc. Next, let us discuss the process of recording cash sales. Direct sale, a customer purchases and immediately procures goods and services in the retail store. These purchased items may or may not be linked to a sales order that the customer has placed previously. A direct sale is processed through the creation of an SO invoice on the invoices form. The processing of the SO invoice records the sale and updates inventory without a sales order and a shipment being processed. You can create a new sales order of the cash sales type, that is CS type, on the sales order form screen. You can save the order of the CS type only after you specify the payment information, including the payment method, cash account, and payment reference number. Note the following about the processing of cash sales order. If you process a cash sales order with only non-stock items, no inventory issue is generated when the SO invoice of the cash sale type is released. For non-stock items and services, you can enter you can enter a cash sale directly on the cash sales form. without creating and processing a cash sale order. Next, let us cover how to record sale of stock items that are stored in inventory are called stock items. For these items, the system tracks the on hand quantity and the changes in the cost. In Acumatica ERP, you use sales orders of the predefined sales order and sales order with allocation types to record the sale of stock items. To record sale of stock items, a three-step process is done. First, creating a sales order. To create a sales order, on the sales orders form, create a sales order and specify order type, SO, customer, date, requested on, and description. On the table toolbar of the Details tab, we can add the number of rows with a stock item and can also specify the warehouse quantity and unit price. We can also specify the credit terms in the Financial tab. On the Payment tab, you can create payment or prepayment directly by clicking Create Payment or Create Prepayment on the table toolbar. The shipping rules specified for a particular sales order define whether the goods for the sales order should be shipped in full or partial shipments for the available quantities are allowed. Once the sales order is saved and released, next step is to create a shipment. Next slide. You can use shipment form to create shipment documents for a sales order or for multiple sales orders of the same customer, as well as to view shipment documents that the system automatically generated for sales orders. On the Details tab, we have shipped quantity, open quantity, ordered quantity, and packed quantity columns, where we can specify and compare for future reference. Lot numbers and serial numbers are used to track certain types of inventory items as they are received, stored, manufactured, and shipped. Some products, such as food products and chemical compounds, are tracked by lot because they have expiration date. On the next slide, we'll see an overview of the Shipping tab. This tab contains shipping information, including the customer ship to address or the address of the destination warehouse for transfers, carrier, and FOB point. In Acumatica ERP, you can create a ship via code for each delivery service that your organization uses. Next slide. When we open a shipment and click on More menu, we can find an option to correct shipment. This comes in handy when a shipment that has already been confirmed contains incorrect details. By clicking on Correct Shipment on the More menu of the Shipments form, you can reopen the shipment and make the required corrections. Next slide. The next step is to prepare an invoice. Once the information is entered, click on Confirm Shipment and click on Prepare Invoice. The system prepares the invoice and opens it on the Invoices and Memos form. On this form, you can create sales order documents such as invoices, credit memos, debit memos, and cash sale documents. You can also use this form to view existing documents, including those that have been generated automatically in the process of fulfilling sales orders or those that account for the return of goods. You can create an invoice manually on the invoices form and add to it the lines of one sales order or multiple sales orders of the same customer. Similarly, you can use add SO line and add return line to process returns. Next, financial details. In the financial details tab of the form, one could see the information about the batch generated for the invoice. In the application tab, there is a table showing the payments applied to this document. On the freight tab, the, there is a summary area with information about the total freight charges for the shipments related to the current invoice and a table with detailed information about each shipment prepared for the invoice. Next slide. Correct a processed and paid sales order invoice, we can use invoice correction feature in the invoices form. This action will generate a correction invoice, cancel the original invoice with the incorrect data, and issue a credit memo against it. Subsequently, the payment should be applied to the newly created correction invoice. This process ensures that the financial records reflect the accurate transaction details. If you have an open or closed sales order invoice, you can create an SO credit memo to cancel it. This action generates an SO credit memo, effectively canceling the selected invoice when the credit memo application is released. We can also add the service charges like freight and credit charges or warehouse charges to the invoice and save and release it. Next, let us learn how to process customer payments. You can use the payments and applications form to enter incoming payments and apply them against the customer's open items, as well as to create customer refunds and to add charges applied by the bank for payment processing. You can release a payment document on this form as well. If the payment document still has a non-zero balance after it has been applied to customer invoices and memos, you can apply its balance against additional invoice or memos of the same customer. You can define payment methods for incoming payments processed in accounts receivable. Payment methods are linked to cash accounts, and you can select one cash account as the default for the payment method used in accounts receivable. In the Documents to Apply tab, the, there is a list in a tabular format of the customer's open documents to which the incoming payment can be applied. Click Load Documents on the table toolbar to specify a date range, a range of reference numbers, or both, and the system adds to the list the customer's documents that meet the criteria. Are open credit memos matching the specified criteria, they appear at the top of the list. Load documents. Open the Load Options dialog box. In the Load Options dialog box, you can specify criteria for loading or reloading the customer's open accounts receivable documents. When you enter a new customer prepayment or payment on the Payments and Application form, you can link it directly to a particular order or multiple orders by adding the order or orders on the Orders to Apply tab. Payments with balances that have been partially applied to invoices can also be reserved for sales orders. Next, let's learn about application history, reversing application, and financial tab. Application history tab is used to store the history of the payment applications. As a result of each application, a batch of journal transactions is generated. All application batches are displayed on this tab. For reversing uh, a transaction, the reverse application comes in handy. The system reverses the application of the prepayment or payment to the invoice. The system creates a reversing batch that you can see on the application history tab. The system also sets the statuses of the invoices and the prepayment to open. On the financial tab, you can find information about the accounts receivable and sub-account used in the payment document, as well as the date and period of the document. For a released payment, it contains the reference to the batch that implements appropriate transactions. Next, non-stock items requiring shipment. To process the non-stock item with shipment, while creating the non-stock item, we need to select the required shipment option. With this, we can process the non-stock items like samples, customized products in the stock item sales process. For non-stock items not requiring shipment, next slide, we create sales order with the non-stock item, that is services, etc. on the sales order form, and directly without shipment, we prepare the invoice form from sales order form and process the payment or prepayment. We can also directly create invoice for the non-stock sales in the invoice and memos form without sales order and process the payment. Next, let's discuss a little about refunds and adjustment to invoices. The refund command is available for documents with payment, prepayment, and credit memo types, which have available balance. The system creates a document with the refund type, populates the box of the new document with the settings of the original document, and applies the new refund to the original document. Next, to process a credit memo is a document given by one party to another, mentioning that the sender credits the other party's accounts in his books. After the supplier issue of the tax invoice, if there is any deduction in the taxable value of the goods supplied, he may issue a credit note mentioning the prescribed particulars. Some of the very common reasons why we issue credit memos. Credit memo could be issued on account of sales returned by the buyer due to quality issues, service rejection, or damage good receipts. Erroneously, charges from the buyer or a post sale discount could also result in a credit memo. The quantity received by the buyer is less than what was ordered. In such cases, also, businesses issue credit memo. We can select reverse and apply to memo and write off under more option for the invoice to be adjusted. Reverse. This option can be used when part of the invoice needs to be reversed. Reverse and apply to memo. This option can be used when the full value needs to be reversed. So for partial, you will use reverse option, and for a full reversal, you will use reverse and apply to memo option. Write off. This option is used to write off the outstanding customer balances. Credit memo is created after selecting the above listed options. After you click on the apply button, it will open the credit memo under payments and application form. Apply the credit memo to the respective invoice reference number, which will be available for selection under the Documents to Apply tab. Next, the credit memo for stock items. It will be created when we are receiving goods which are sold to customers. We have an option to select in the order type to create the credit memo. Select Return for Credit or Return with Replacement under the order type. There, we can select and add the invoice of the customer that is returned. Now create shipment as a receipt from customer and system to create the credit memo in invoices and memos form. Now save and apply the credit memo to the invoice. This brings us to the end of our session. Thank you all. Over to you, Mazhar.
Thank you, Neha. Excellent session. Very well explained. Thanks a lot for this session. Back to the audience. Key benefits of Acumatica bookkeeping services. Just wanted to highlight the benefits of outsourcing bookkeeping tasks to 247 Digitize. Uh, Listed few benefits, but not limited to this. So, talking about time and cost savings. By outsourcing your bookkeeping tasks to us, you save valuable time and resources that can be allocated to core business activities. Efficiency and accuracy. We maintain your books with precision, ensuring all financial data is recorded accurately and efficiently. Employee attrition, key employee attrition, peace of mind. When an organization relies heavily on key employees who possess specialized skills, knowledge, or experience, the thought of them leaving can create uncertainty and disrupt business operations. However, by outsourcing bookkeeping to external partners or service providers, the organization can mitigate the risk associated with key employee attrition. Scalability. Our services are flexible and scalable, allowing us to adapt to your business's evolving needs as it grows. Data security. We prioritize the security and confidentiality of your financial information, employing robust measures to protect your data, In some cases, organizations may prefer to limit their employees' access to financial information. In such situation, outsourcing to service providers could be a viable option. Additionally, we offer flexibility to sign up for specific critical and challenging areas instead of complete bookkeeping, such as accounts receivables, AR, account payable, AP, GL, general ledger maintenance, or inventory management. You may also look for an option and ask for cleanup or catch up with your books. You can also opt for controllership services. This tailored approach allows us to address your specific pain points and align our services with your unique requirements. While your accounting team may be robust, outsourcing certain challenging areas of Acumatica bookkeeping to us can lead to accurate and timely monthly and year-end book closures. Instead of continuing to expand your finance team, you have the option to provide us with the requirements, and we can serve as an extension of your office. This way, we can effectively handle specific tasks, allowing your in house team to focus on other core responsibilities. How we roll it, how we do this process. Just to give you a little information about, we are a US based company with our head office in Chicago and three delivery centers in India, which are in Hyderabad, Chennai, and Bangalore. Our team is trained on the basic modules of Acumatica with a comprehensive training duration of 175 hours. Additionally, we have expertise in industry specific modules. This target training ensures that our team is well equipped to address the unique requirements and challenges associated with these industries, providing specialized and effective solutions. We have implemented a shift based work schedule to effectively manage different time zones. In the first half of their shift, our bookkeepers work on entering transactions from previous business day so that the transactions are ready for review by the time our clients begin their next day. The second half of their shift aligns with the first half of US office hours for better coordination. Additionally, we have team members dedicated to providing support till the office closing hours in the Eastern region and in our responsiveness and ability of client assistance as needed. Our valued audience, you are an industry expert, a business owner, or simply curious about the topic, we encourage you to participate actively by asking questions in the chat box, and we will answer your questions. We'll allow 2 minutes to see if you have any questions and we can answer your questions. Do you have any questions regarding our process, or you may have questions regarding recording sales in Acumatica, any features we've discussed here, or any other question related to Acumatica bookkeeping and entry, we will be able to help you out. Even after finishing this webinar, this recording of the video will be available of this webinar on LinkedIn with the same link. We will also have the same video uploaded on our YouTube channel. Sam, do we have any questions?
No, Mazar, we don't have any questions right now. But as you mentioned, we'd like to tell everyone watching this video, maybe you will watch it later or at some other time. You can always contact us if you have any questions that we can clear. You have any doubts about our services or something more technical like the topics discussed in today's webinar. So please feel free to reach
Absolutely.
us. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks, Sam, for the information. Yes, we are here. And if you need any further information, we are here. If you or your clients are interested in learning more, please get in touch with me. You may make a note or take a screenshot of my contact details, which are on the screen at the moment. Let's discuss how we can streamline your bookkeeping processes. Looking forward to connecting soon. Thank you all for being a part of today's webinar. We look forward to see you at the next one, which is on May 22nd. So stay tuned to our LinkedIn page for more updates. We appreciate your participation. If you have any further questions or feedback, as mentioned earlier, please reach out. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.